Yeah, don't sit on your electronics, Devin. All right, so we're getting started here today, and kind of an interesting morning. We had, it was prognosticated that we were going to get hammered with snow here in York, Pennsylvania. And we didn't. So, today's talk's about choice and how we respond to things. And kind of funny, because I think I was more disappointed than my kids, because they were excited to go back to school. And I was excited to drive my truck in the snow, the copious amounts of snow we were supposed to get. And for all my friends out there listening that are getting snow, congratulations. Just know that Mother Nature missed us totally. I guess it's raining now. We had some snowflakes earlier. But we get to choose how we react to things, right? So, we can choose to be really irritated that we didn't get snow, or we can choose to get really irritated that we did get snow. But, see, the goal here is really about understanding that we have that choice. We get to choose about what we think about, what we focus on. We get to choose how we respond. So this morning, simple example, was grateful that the wife called me and got me out of bed. It's good. Thanks, Beth. Thank you for that. But that, hey, the kids were up. They're running. They're healthy. They weren't grumpy. They weren't anything like that. My son was a little miffed that we couldn't go four-wheeling today, try out the truck in the snow. But, there was no griping. There was no, all right, it's time to go to work, time to go to school. And, again, we get to choose how we respond to that. I had some great meetings today. We got to work on some score work this morning, which was always a pleasure working with Mr. Sanders. And then, oh my goodness, it's snowing out again. It's trying. Mother Nature's really, really trying hard right now to make a comeback. I think she should just go back and reload. Try again. Throw another storm at us. We'll give you a second chance, Mother Nature. We know you're old. What I was saying is that we get to choose. So, my challenge to you is, how are you choosing to use your time today? What are you choosing to do? Are you being ruled by your day, or are you choosing to go out and make an impact? I was at the Impact Live event over the weekend. It was great, and I really love the message that Ken MacArthur has with that. One of his quotes is, we get to make an impact. No, let me rephrase that. We make an impact whether we know it or not. And if you think about that, how many people do we impact? And are we doing it unintentionally or intentionally? Because it's a huge responsibility at the end of it, for humanity, for yourself, saying, how am I going to make the world a better place? How am I going to impact it to make it better? And it starts with the things that we think about. Are we choosing to think about things that energize us and make us better? Or are we thinking about the negative and the fact that, oh, it snowed today and now I have to shovel and my back's going to hurt? I don't have to do that today. So, which brings me to today's daily segment of Sarcasm. And I thought this was appropriate. I'm loving this book, by the way, Jim Montone. Let's just go through this. Weather. This is the definition of weather. A natural phenomenon created by God to give boring people something to talk about. Thought that was funny. But even better than that is the weatherman. It's a job created by television to give boring people something to talk about on camera. And, I don't know, I thought that was apropos for today. What, look at the camera? Is that what
You're on camera, talking about the weather.
Yeah, I am done. I am, well done, Grasshopper. So we'll come back to that a little bit later. So, we do get to choose what and how we own our day. And, what did you plan for today? How are you reacting and taking control of the activities? If your kids are home, what are you doing with them? Are you trying to struggle to get through work and manage the kids, or are you taking and making a deliberate decision to spend some time with your kids and go out and play in the snow if you have any? I don't know of anybody that's gotten a lot of snow, just some dustings. What do we got here? Oh, who do we have? Jason Slobo, what's happening, bro? It's good to see you. Thanks for joining in. Anything that is on your mind, Slobo? It's been a while since our dorm days at Penn State. Anything you're working on big? Put it in the comments. Devin will read it back to us. Let us know. I got it here. Howdy says, Jason and I go way back to our West Hall days at Penn State. So he roomed with our boy Brian. T-Dog's not on, by the way. So usually he jumps on. So we'll see if he comes a little bit later. So, Jason, I'm going to ask you, what are you doing with your day today, buddy? Did you get snow? I think you're out in Marietta, so let me know how it's going. Yeah, no, I called you out. Yeah, that's why we're up on our tech. Jordan rules, love it. That's right, Jordan Halls. Thanks for the reminder. My mind's going a little bit. It's been a while. It's always good to get up there with the kids though for the blue-white game. We should get up there for that. So my question to you, Jason, is what you're doing with your day today? Did you get a lot of snow? Your kids home from school? I think they closed down the Lancaster schools. Maybe the storm didn't cross the mighty Susquehanna. I don't know. But this is the thing. Our thoughts become our actions and our habits, and they really focus in on what we manifest for our lives. So what are you manifesting today? How are you choosing to be amazing? This goes out to everybody. I know Jason's an amazing guy. Helped him move a piano a few years ago. It was good. It's funny how we're all connected too, because he was with another friend of ours that worked with me back in the day, Steve Sanderson. So we get to choose how we think. See, when we lose that ability to choose how we think, then we fall into being a victim, right? And we say, "Oh, it snowed. It was awful," and this and that. But you get to choose how you respond to that. You get to choose the things you think about. I didn't say it was easy. I didn't say it was something that, it's like, oh, I'm just going to change the way I'm thinking today, right? It's like working out. When you're going to be an athlete or going for a run, want to do a 5K, 10K, marathon, half marathon, Ironman, triathlon. Like, you have to train. You have to get your body into shape to do that. And one of the things that athletes use is the tool of visualization. They consciously make the choice to think about being successful. There's I posted a meme on this earlier. It was in the 80s. A guy was running. Should have even been in the race. It was the 80 Olympics. I believe that's what it was. He's doing the 800, and he's way behind. Like, he's just running along. But he had visualized him. Jason says he's braved the blizzard and got into work. That was pretty. Might be trapped here for a few weeks. So yeah, I know. I hope you have bread and milk. I really do. Maybe there's you should have hit the store on the way in there, Jason. So, yeah, like I said, I was so bummed I couldn't use the 4x4 today. Get a new truck. Mother Nature lets me down again. I even put the tractor in the shed. Like, let me put this in the shed. Getting ready. I gave her the benefit of the doubt. But this guy's running around the track. He's going, and he's behind, and they got the elite Kenyan racers out front, and they're setting the pace, and they're doing all this. And he'd used visualization to imagine him winning that, and he really tapped into that power because he had no business being in that race. And final stretch, he was in the mix and edged out the lead racers. So again, coming back to that, and you hear about this with football players and baseball players. They see it then do it, see it then do it. When I studied martial arts, that was one of the key phrases. See yourself breaking the board, see your fist going through the board, visualization. And it was a choice, right? You had to concentrate on doing that. So changing how we think isn't always, it's very cliche. Oh, well, just think positive. No, that's part of it, but that's an easy answer for the uninitiated. Think of, I was just thinking of the uninitiated, Bane from Batman, but whatever. So, Jason, what are you thinking about today, buddy? What's on your mind? What positive things are you bringing into the world? I always remember you as a positive guy, and so share with the viewers what's on your mind. So how do we do this, right? So, I'm a big fan of the morning routine, getting up, priming your day. Tony Robbins is a big fan of this, doing that, ingratiating yourself into self-love. If anybody wants an ebook on this, we have one. We just got that done. We'll send you a copy of that. Kind of how do you get that morning routine kicked off? How do you up your emotional intelligence so that you're dealing with others out of empathy so you can relate to them? Those are the things that we do to train that, and it takes effort. So one of the things, and I told the story over the weekend at the talk, was about when you make that choice, right? You have to declare it. You have to tell God, the universe, whatever, whoever, the Almighty, that you have declared it. And it's one of the fundamental components of starting to retrain your mind, so that you get out there and you're like, I'm declaring that I'm going to achieve this or do that. And that was one of the interesting things when I did the Ironman. I just made the declaration, I am doing one of these. And then it set things in motion. Then you take action behind that declaration. And then you start thinking and get consumed on that. The speaking engagement that I had the wonderful opportunity to speak at the Impact Live event on Saturday was the same thing. I've been focused on speaking, and then these things manifested itself, right? So when you're focused on that, those activities, they come to fruition. But you have to make that declaration. It's a huge piece of what we talk about. So when you declare something, what is it that you want? What's going to truly make you happy? And then you declare it, and then you go out and get it. I was took a stroll down memory lane this morning. I got contacted by an old high school buddy. Haven't talked to him in years, and it was kind of interesting, like just having this chat and going through and thinking about the good old days and those things of, who ended up where doing what. And then the thing goes is why? Like, why? First thing that goes through my head is, are they happy? Like, are they living the fulfilling life that God put them on earth to live? And then, like, what would life have been if you take other changes or stayed with other people or did different things, and where would that have landed, and how did I end up here, and why? And I figured out why I'm here, right? It's how people get the most out of their lives and their businesses. And I always hope, I'm like, I hope these people are happy. You start going through it's easy to do on Facebook. You start going through looking at photos, and you're like, well, they look happy, but of course Facebook is horrible for that, because you only post the happy things. So it's hard to compare yourself to that. So you get to make a choice, right? This is what we're talking about. You get to choose about your reaction to events. You get to choose how you use your time. And you can either make the choice to be intentional about those things, or you can let your calendar, your schedule be filled by other people and not take control of that and be at the mercy of everybody else, and then wake up one day and be, where did my life go? Or you can be like, hey, here's what I've been accomplishing. I've made these decisions. I've made these declarations to do that. Here's what I've chosen to focus on. And this is what today's talk's really about, is the ability to make that choice. And then you get to choose how you react to things, right? We can't choose what happens to us necessarily. We can attract different things, but we can choose how we react to them. Today we're talking about the snowstorm, or the lack of it, here on the western side of the mighty Susquehanna. And got to choose to come into work and have a great day, regardless of the fact that I was hoping to hang out with the kids today, and it's been a wonderful day. Honestly, so this is what Jason's writing here. Honestly, I'm praying for a close friend, a young mother of 3 who had a major brain aneurysm yesterday and isn't expected to survive. Not to be a downer, and I'm usually a positive person, but the last 24 hours have been tough. Through it all, I'm trusting Psalm 62, verses 5 through 8. My mighty rock, my refuge is my God. Well, Jason, you've just engaged another prayer warrior on your behalf, buddy. I got your back. That's tragedy, and I think it's a great example of what you're choosing to do. You're choosing to be focused on the Almighty helping you out, and praying for her and her family. And this morning I found out a friend of mine who I was with on Saturday, her dad had a heart attack in a car and died, and looking at taking him off life support today. So kind of a bummer of a day for that. So I have you in my prayers, pal, as well as her. So we again get to choose, right? We get to choose to do something. We can pray. We can do these things, and choose to be there for these people that are suffering and struggling. So I applaud you, my friend, for sharing that. And thank you for doing so. On that note, I'd ask everybody out there that prays is to pray for our two friends, Jason's friend and my friend, that they can, not just for the person struggling, but for the people around them that are also suffering and mourning and in pain over that, because that's rough. So again, we'll close this up today. Jason, I appreciate you being on, pal. Join us. I think we're doing these daily, so I want to shout out to Devin for keeping us organized and on point. He's giving me the peace out, brother. And point for today is you get to choose. You get to choose how you use your time, what you do with your life. The victimhood mentality, that's other people are telling you what you're going to do and what you're going to accomplish. But be deliberate and make decisions about that for your own lives to get the most out of it. So I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy what's left of this storm. Maybe next week we'll get another one. I'm hopeful that Mother Nature's heard my request for snow and will answer it. If not, she's just senile and in a nursing home, being pushed around, wrapped up in her Afghan, being pushed around the nursing home. So it's my thing. I make fun of Mother Nature, and I'm sure she'll smite me sometime while I'm backpacking with my kids or something. But until then, love you guys. See you tomorrow.